Since Stacy's been on the streets here now for about a year and a half, slamming meth and doing all kinds of drugs, whatever. The combination of being on the streets and especially, the main problem is the meth, which is a known problem, known issue, which causes delusions. She's gotten these really freaky, weird, creative um, delusions. They call them meth delusions. Meth delusions is pretty common. If you look out on the streets, you talk to the homeless people, one thing you'll see that's in common is just about all of them do meth. And the really bad ones, the ones you see talking to themselves and walking around like dumpster diving and shit like that. And those guys are usually the ones that slam, the guys with the sores on themselves, which Stacy's getting to. Um, Shit like that. Those are the guys that usually use needles. But a couple of her interesting delusions are one, she has this thing where she thinks she's like lived moments of her life before, like she's stuck in a loop and she's reliving, um, basically reliving and experiencing things again. Uh, but somehow they have alternate endings, or they can be. I'm not exactly sure exactly what it is, and I think she kind of changes it to kind of match whatever's going on. But so you can kind of be guilty of something that you've never even done because she's relived this experience before, and she already knows the outcome. Not too uncommon. It's kind of similar to deja vu, you know. Seen that one. That one's pretty prevalent with her. Another one is she thinks that she has delusions of grandeur, where she thinks she's like super important when she's not, and pretty much no one gives a fuck. Um, where now she thinks there's like a big conspiracy of people out to get her. Another pretty common thing. Especially on the streets, we have PTSD, and you know, I mean, everybody's trying to attach and blame somebody else for their problems. Everybody wants to be made to feel important, because if you're living on a street and you're a bum and you're a hobo and you're a junkie and you're dumpster diving, you odds are you probably don't have very high self-esteem. So of course, you have to be somebody important in your mind, right? There's got to be some like plot against you. So yeah, she thinks that she's, you know, there's a group of people, even the cops and you know grocery stores and basically anybody who possibly looks at her the wrong way is part of this conspiracy to make her unhappy. So, and of course, I, you know, uh, am part of it too now. And for a while, she thought I was like, some head of some sex trafficking crime ring. She's convinced that she's stumbled upon some sex trafficking crime ring, and that I'm somehow tied into it. You know, shit. What are some of the other fucking things she says? Yeah, I mean that's the big one. Is of course, there's a group of people out to get her, and of course, I'm somehow the mastermind or the evil genius behind all this plot to hurt her or make her unhappy or whatever it is, kill her or whatever it is. I mean, it's funny how people think that they're that important, right? I mean, to orchestrate something on that scale, to have all these people waste all their time and life, and energies trying to make one person unhappy, that person's got to be pretty fucking important. Obviously, it's not true. Um, she just has this thing where, and I've seen this. This was actually before she started doing meth. She doesn't. She doesn't want to take responsibility for anything. Nothing is her fault, and she's never wrong. But it's a lot more than just simply being stubborn. We're talking about she'll make up alternate realities and come up with these, harebrained cockamamie theories in order to blame somebody else for her obvious mistakes. I mean, it's gotten to the point where it's stupid. I mean, something can be clearly her fault, clearly she's at wrong, and instead of saying sorry and taking responsibility for it, she will somehow manage to blame you. If she does something, an example is she trashes all of my vehicles intentionally, and the fact because she's just a fucking inconsiderate, um, selfish, ungrateful, fuck. I mean, she just doesn't give a fuck about anybody, or their property. She only cares about meth and getting high. So, would she? I don't know why I keep letting her do it. It's because I loved her and I wanted her to be safe and to have whatever I could provide for her. I would let her stay in my vehicles and stuff like that, and she just trashes them all. She pisses in them. She can't figure out how to piss in a fucking, a bucket, and she always gets her piss everywhere. I mean, she's like a fucking kid. She even refers to herself as an adult toddler, and she's absolutely right. She's absolutely right. That's one of the smartest things she's ever said. Is that she's an adult toddler. She's got the manners of a toddler. She's got about the experiences of of a toddler. I mean, dating her was like dating a fucking 4-year-old, and you can't even take them anywhere without being embarrassed. But either way, I mean, she trashes my vans. I mean, my van, she gets mad. There's temper tantrums, and she'll throw food all over the place. She can't use the fucking bathroom right. Whenever she's got to piss, it's a big fucking ordeal. Whereas most women, would pee in a bucket or whatever. No, she's got to like make this big fucking elaborate thing, and then she still can't piss in a bucket. And then she ends up pissing on the floor, on the fucking carpet, whatever. She doesn't clean up after herself. You can tell her how many fucking times. You can tell her 50 times, don't ash on the fucking floor. And she will. She'll keep doing it. Even though there's ashtrays right in front of her. You can tell her whatever, hey, throw your fucking food wrappers away. Don't just throw them on the floor. She won't. She'll leave her fucking, in a van that's mobile. She'll leave her fucking cups open. She'll be drinking something and she'll never put the lid back on it. So then when you drive off, things fucking spill. I mean, you cannot stop her from trashing your shit. She'll take all these rocks. It's another thing she's developed with these new meth habits. Well, not new anymore, but she picks up rocks and sticks and leaves and shit off the ground and, collects them. And, it's like, then she'll like spread them all over the bed. So now your bed has like dirt and shit all over it. I mean, she'll leave the doors open. She'll fucking get out of a car and just leave the passenger door wide open and she jumps out. She's just completely, disrespectful. She doesn't give a fuck. She'll like put shit on the hood and she'll, you shouldn't scratch it. She just doesn't give a fuck. She doesn't. And, I mean, she's, like I said, she's easily, hands down, the most inconsiderate, ungrateful, disrespectful, self-centered, selfish, narcissistic person I've ever met. Not just dated, but met. It's amazing. I don't know what the fuck happened to her. Which is weird because her parents seem to be cool. I mean, and her sister that I met, she seemed to be cool. So I don't know what happened to Stacey. I mean, hard to say. I think Stacey being a junkie and shooting up heroin in high school, I think starting a hard drug like that at such a young age stunted her emotional development. That's all I can think of. But I mean, even her 10-year-old son has better manners than she does. When she eats, she doesn't eat like, with like just the ends of her fingers like most people would. If she bothers to use fucking utensils at all, she grabs food with the whole palm of her hand, right? Watch her eat. If you watch her eat a hot dog, most people eat the hot dog and attempt not to get any ketchup or mustard or whatever, or touch the, they will touch the food as little as possible, right? So that they're not, one, they don't make a mess, and two, it's, more hygienic. She will grab the food like with both fucking palms of her hand, and by the time she's done eating, she has ketchup and mustard all over her fucking hands and her palms of her hand, and anything else, and then she doesn't even fucking bother to wash her hands. I mean, it's kind of gross. It's kind of gross. It's kind of like I don't even want her to touch me because I'm afraid of what, she doesn't wash her hands. I'm afraid of the shit that she's got growing on her hands, and she likes to dumpster dive. And I've never met somebody who's like, she's like a homeless hoarder. Like, she's like one of those bums that'll have like not one but two shopping carts full of junk, tied to each other, pushing them down the road. It's amazing. It's amazing. And I don't know. And she can't hold on to anything. I mean, it's hard to hold on to shit when you're homeless. You don't have anything place to put it. So you're often leaving shit behind because you're tired of carrying it. So you leave shit behind. But so you're either hiding your shit or you're leaving shit behind, with other fucking homeless junkies, which, can't be trusted. But they'll still steal her shit. Whenever she loses her shit, then she blames me for it. Like I stole it. She keeps blaming this that I stole her phone. That fucking some fucking dude she's probably sucking dick for got it for her. I bought her like 5 fucking phones. She's stolen one of them. She's smashed the other one. And she would have had a phone this entire time she was out here. A lot of bad things would have never happened. A lot of our problems would have never happened. And she's just an idiot. She won't. But anyway, she blames me for stealing this fucking phone when, in fact, in reality is, she leaves shit behind. She gets tired, she passes out, she falls asleep, and she leaves shit. Like, she leaves shit out in the open so anybody walking by can pick it up. She's she's just not street smart. She's not street smart. She's not aware. She's can't focus on one thing, and the meth doesn't help. She's in short, yeah. But yeah, I don't know. She's one thing I realized though is I should have known a long time ago. I kick myself. This is my fault. I should have known she'd betray me. I mean, I should have known you can't trust her. I mean, think about it. If a mom will give up her only son, not just give him up, but abandon him without even saying goodbye, and ignore him for a year and a half. If a mom can do that to her only son and betray her only son like that, of course she's going to betray you. She won't even think twice about lying to you, cheating on you, deceiving you, stealing from you, stabbing you in the back. If her son's not even a priority to her, certainly you aren't either if you're her boyfriend. Because there's only one priority in her life, and that's getting high on meth. And it's taken its toll. She's aged about 10 years in the last year. It's destroyed her emotionally and mentally. I mean, I even watch videos of us, like, from a year ago, even when she was still just started doing meth, but even from a year ago, it's like the way she talks now, her mannerisms, the way she talks, she's like a different person, and it's not in a good way. I've never met anybody who's more disrespectful and considerate and ungrateful in my life. I mean, I've spent somewhere between $5,000 and $6,000 trying to keep her off the street, on hotels, gas, food, money, drugs, makeup, clothes, whatever. She's not grateful. She's mad. She's like, you don't even give me anything. I buy her shit all the time. She doesn't have a single thing that I bought her over the last year and a half because she loses it all. And I've also spent about 1,000 hours just looking for her because she's too inconsiderate and uncaring and ungrateful. She doesn't empathize. She doesn't know how to empathize. That word doesn't exist in her vocabulary nor her heart. She doesn't think. She doesn't know how to empathize. So of course she does shit that's just like so absurdly outrageous. You're just like, what the fuck? How could she possibly do that? It's because she doesn't fucking empathize. Whatever sickness she suffers from has barred her from being able to feel that. But yeah, I mean, she just, she's gotten a lot worse, and it's unfortunately these things don't get better in time; they only get worse. And yep. So who knows? If you've known her from a couple years ago, you might as well kiss that person goodbye. If you ever see her again, she's not the same person, and I'm sure you're not gonna like what you see. But it's sad. Her poor kid, man, doesn't have a father. That was bad enough, right? When I met him, he was already starting to ask about the whereabouts of his dad and shit like that. And then his mom abandons him too. So now he doesn't have a dad or a mom. Thank God his grandparents are good people and, loving and can support him as they supported Stacey and him. Because Stacey's too fucking lazy and irresponsible to work. Yeah. At least he's got them. But it's a sad situation all the way around. It's common for drug addicts, to displace responsibility, because everybody's fault, it's everybody else's fault but theirs, of course, which is, well, one of the reasons why they're a drug addict and on the streets, because, well, they're rude, disrespectful, inconsiderate, and greedy and selfish, and blame everybody for their problems. But yeah, it's, that's it. Stacey, you fucked off everybody that could help you, especially me, who tried, your family, I wish you would have seen, Stacey, that out of everybody in the world, I've spent more money and more time trying to keep you safe and off the streets than everybody put together. Okay? Than everybody put together. So your new sugar daddy who might be buying you a phone, hotels for a week or whatever, whatever, buying you new clothes, all that shit, Stacey. Guess what? I've done that 10 times, 100 times fold over the last year and a half. This guy's going to do it, as long as you're sucking his dick, for the time. But he's going to get sick of you because your personality is corrosive. You're so fucking annoying. You're so fucking annoying and disrespectful. It's, I can't even be around you. I don't understand how anybody else can. You talk nonstop. Such a fucking annoying habit. You talk and just say whatever the fuck comes to your mind out loud. So you can't have a conversation. You have to dominate the conversation. Then you have to be the center of attention all the time. It's like you're fucking 14 years old. You're inconsiderate, ungrateful, disrespectful. So many people that I've talked to, Stacey, have said the exact same fucking thing. So it's you, Stacey. It's you. And you shit on and pissed on every opportunity I've given you. You don't have to be on the streets. You never had to be on the streets. You never had to be on the streets. 1, you're only supposed to be out here for a week, not a year and a half. 2, every option that I had for you set up, you've destroyed. You can't stay in my van because look what you did today. You threw a fucking fit and you threw food all over the place, broke my lights off the van, peeled the tint off the windows, smashed shit, destroyed shit. Stacey, you are a piece of shit. And then what was your excuse? Look what you did to my trailer. No, Stacey, I never shit, pissed, and puked in your trailer. I never broke shit intentionally, you fucking whore. I didn't do any of the shit you do. Okay? Yeah, I made a mess. I didn't even apologize for it, and I even cleaned it. You've never done any of that because you are a fucking stupid cunt, piece of shit. You are. I bought this van for you so you'd have a safe place to sleep in and keep your stuff. And look how you treat it, Stacey. Good. Remember that next time you're on the fucking street sucking dick, okay? You could have been in this van. You could have been in this van. You could have been anywhere. You are to blame for that, Stacey, not me. And I know you're going to be like, well, it's because you give me anxiety and then you make me feel. Stacey, I'm not nice to you 100% of the time, other than the fact that I buy everything you need and try to keep you safe, which is nice enough, more than you deserve, because of the way you are, because you're so inconsiderate and disrespectful and ungrateful and unkind. Yes, unkind. Trashing my van is unkind, Stacey, you fucking cunt. All right? The things you do, disappearing, is unkind. You know what, Stacey? All I gotta say is you're the stupidest, fucking ungrateful, inconsiderate, bitch, disrespectful whore I've ever met. And you deserve nothing good in life. Nothing. You even abandon your own son. So, you get what you put in, and people get what they deserve. And you're about to, too, for trashing this fucking van and stealing my keys. What happened to your trailer, Stacey? Yeah. Goodbye. It's gone. Just like you.